Hi guys, welcome. I'm back for the second live stream. And where did your little pacifier go, miss? I'm sorry I had to change the time, but I wound up having to run out. So anyway, I'm back now. Let me pull this up on the other phone. Okay, lightning is first. Love. I'm okay, Kevin. How are you doing today? You may be feeling a little bit unstable or uncertain around love coming up in the near future, but it's going to pass. You're actually going to start setting some boundaries and I don't want to say making demands, but putting out what you want and starting to get it coming up in the near future. You also have a lot of magic around you, the power of manifestation. So use your thoughts wisely. Focus on positive, not negative. Around you is, you have a couple of players around you. You got water signs around you. You also have a Taurus and you have a Sagittarius. Water signs would be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But overall, you're going to have balance, serenity, patience, compassion brought back to your love life coming up over the next couple of months. If we were to look forward, there's peace coming in, which is a good thing. You also might have a lot of choices because you got a number of players around you. So if you've been feeling a little bit burnt out, I think that you start to come into your own a little bit. Malika. Michael's current feelings towards me, he's still not communicating. Okay. Well, communication is going to suck for most of us for the next couple of weeks. He's feeling regretful, and he's going to be moving forward with the Hangman in reverse. So he's definitely feeling a love connection to you with the Lover's card. So I wouldn't worry too much. Communication may be shitty over the next couple of weeks, but it's going to work itself out. There should be more to come. I wouldn't worry that much at all about this. Jennifer, is me and my, all right, Scorpios, they're going to get closer. Let's have a look. Will they get closer? Yes, you're going to be working on this relationship coming up in the near future. It's not going to be real rough, but it's going to have its moments where you may be questioning it, or you may be feeling like I'm putting in a lot of effort and it's not going anywhere. Just continue on the path because you're going to get somewhere. December, office trip in March, general reading with B. All right. right, let's see. An office trip in March. Okay. It looks here like there may be some anxiety around this trip for you, and you may be feeling a little bit heartbroken. I'm not sure what you're hoping happens with B, or who B is in relation to the office trip, but it doesn't look like there's all that much happening. It looks like you may be feeling a little bit let down, or like you're waiting for your ship to come in and nothing is going on. Feeling like you haven't made it to the top of the mountain. Feeling a little bit like the powers that be are not working with you, and the Empress is in reverse, which would mean that I think the overall feeling is kind of disappointment around this trip. It may not be what you hope it to be. It may be a little bit disappointing. I would focus a little bit more on yourself and a little bit less on anyone else. So I would focus on you yourself enjoying the trip and less about what's going on with anyone else, because I think that could be more disappointing. December, what's S's intentions, feelings, and thoughts? All right, what's going on with S? What is going on with S? S has got a lot of happiness around him, so he may be happy with you, likes to spend time with you, but it looks like there's a slowdown around the relationship, and he may not feel that things are stable, or they may not be as stable as he wants them to be. Temperance is also in reverse, which would kind of suggest either balance is off, or feeling a little bit impatient, maybe feeling like his time is running out. There also may be some arguments around you and this person. I don't know if you're not meeting on common ground, or it could even be like he's kind of giving up. He's kind of throwing in the towel a little bit, like he doesn't feel like the relationship has gotten anywhere. RZ, Sultan's intentions. He doesn't have any real intentions right now. Like, he's not intending to do anything at this point. But it does show that around him, he feels a little bit of heartbreak, and he feels like he's got choices. So he may not be planning on anything specific right now. Like, it may not be in his head, but eventually he's going to come forward, because you have the Knight of Cups and you also have the Eight of Wands. He just may not be thinking about it. It's funny because a lot of people ask with the words intentions and actions, and a lot of these guys are not living in that far in the future. Like, they're not thinking, oh, next Tuesday I intend to take so-and-so out on a date. They're kind of a little bit more in the moment. So it comes up a lot, just overall in general, for a lot of the readings that I do. It's not like they're thinking, well, next month I intend to go on vacation. You know, they're just not that far into the future. They're more about what's happening right now. And I think right now he doesn't have anything planned, but eventually things change. RZ, should I go back to Allie or let it go? Okay. Should we go back to Allie? You got a 70% chance that you should go back to Allie. That goes up even higher if he's an air sign, a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini. Myrna, how is the Pisces feeling about it? there's forward movement coming in. So they may be moving things forward a little bit quickly or quicker than you thought they were capable of. They've got a lot of strength around them when it comes to you, and they're very attracted to you. They feel that you're well balanced and you're stable. So they may be coming, they may be stepping up their game in the near future. Anna, how does Christopher feel about me today? What's happening over there, Bill? Do you need help? You got it under control? Okay, he's feeling happy about you. He's feeling happy about you, and he feels like he could either be coming forward or stepping his game up too. It looks like he's made a decision to either come forward or, I don't want to say present you with an offer, because I don't think he has an offer. He's just feeling happier about the situation and a little bit more laid back and sort of a little bit more open today to seeing where things go. Talia, general love. General love. Keep dropping them. Okay, so you have magic around you, which means you can manifest anything you want. Focus what you want on what you want, not what you don't want. There's somebody around you who's going to be, could be a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. This person's going to have a lovely adventure and is going to want to do a lot of fun things coming up. You lay down the law. You start to put into the universe what you're willing to put up with, what you don't want to put up with, and walking away from things that no longer serve you, moving forward, not holding yourself back anymore, and making changes that are healthier for you, which I think is going to be a good thing. I think you're going to move away from things that aren't working right and move forward towards things that that are a little easier, that flow a little easier. I think better times are coming, especially with the Ace of Swords. It's like you're really setting your intentions to what you want and what you don't want. And I like that. Sepia, general love. Okay, so around love, you got some happiness coming in, but you still may be feeling like you're waiting for your ship to come in. Things are going to pick up for you. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which means that things will be moving forward. You may be letting go of some old regret, maybe letting go of things that you have no control over and things that happened in the past that are in the past and not hanging on to them anymore. Moving forward, you have a wish that comes true, possibly around a water sign that makes you feel like you made it to the top of the mountain. A Scorpio, Pisces, or a Cancer, and you may be feeling like finally life is moving forward. Could be around a water sign, very possible. Anna, how does Christopher feel about our relationship? He feels like there's a lot of strength around the two of you, and that there is a spiritual connection. So, I mean, I think he's pretty content with the relationship. I do think sometimes he feels like you come down on him a little too hard, or you expect a little too much from him. Like your expectations are high for him. Hang on, I think I missed something. Oh, Armani donated through PayPal. Okay. I don't want to fall behind. See, these are moving at two different paces. All right, hang on. Yeah, there's such a delay on this one. All right. Armani. I'm looking for Armani. Armani. Armani, I'm looking for you. All right, let me do December because December comes, and then I'm going to continue to look for Armani. My meeting with A reading. Today I texted, what is he feeling? Okay, he's a little bit all over the place today. On one hand, he feels very strong, but he kind of feels like he has no choices. Feels like he's a little bit out of control. But then around the relationship, he feels happiness as well. Then he feels a little bit out of balance. So he's kind of back and forth. Now, he's got the Judgment card in reverse today. So he may be feeling like this is not something that's meant to be and that you guys are kind of forcing it or manipulating it. But that's how he's feeling today. I think that that could change. He may be feeling like Judgment in reverse would be feeling like, look, this just isn't meant to be, or this isn't meant to work out, or there's too much around it that's working against us. But I don't feel like he's going to continue to feel that way for much longer. I think that may be how he's feeling today. Or I don't know, did he respond to the text message? Was he a little bit short or distant? Because he feels like distant. Or distant or short. But I think it's going to pass. Ashmita, what does it mean to see a ring with RJ on it? Anytime you see somebody's initials or their birth date, I believe it's a sign that manifestation is working in your favor. So if you, like I mentioned recently, there's a road that I was driving down and I didn't notice any of the numbers on the house except for 902, which is my grandmother's birthday, which is tattooed on my shoulder, and my grandmother's name is her middle name. So like things like that, to me are always a sign that manifestation is coming, or in my case, for me, that was a sign that my grandmother is around, or that my grandmother approved of something that was going on at that moment, whatever it was I was thinking of. I don't remember, but so that's how I would take that. All right, I'm looking for Armani. Here we go. No, I don't see Armani. Hang on. All right, let me go down to the bottom. Ah, there we go. Armani. My questions are, can you see if Terheb still wants me and if we'll get back together? Okay, let's do that one first. There could definitely be a reconnection coming up soon. It looks like you guys, neither one of you is going to be holding back from it. So yes, you could get back together. Is the connection between Tarheb and... is he done with me? No, I don't believe that he's done with you. Let me just pull that up. No, I don't think he's done with you. I don't think this is over, that connection. And how does Eric feel about me? Okay. Okay, Eric feels a spiritual connection to you and feels that there could be happiness around the situation. However, they're not in the place right now where they're feeling that like they have karma on their side or that they're willing to change things. They feel either stuck or that you're not into them or they're not going to put themselves in a vulnerable position right now. Right now, it doesn't look like they're ready to move forward. Hey, babes. Um, I think Eric cares about you. I think there's happiness around the situation. And I think that if you put it out there, you could have something with him too. At the end of the day, it could be your choice as to which one you end up with. And I'm not so sure that there's not going to be another player around here too. I think there's somebody else that's about ready to enter the picture too. So things could start to get a little complicated for you. That's all right. That's okay. Myrna, does my ex still love me? Absolutely, 99% chance the ex still loves you. Woo woo, I haven't received my child support in a while. Was the withholding notice mailed to the wrong employer, or is the employer not taking the payments out? I think that by law that the employer has to take the payments out. All right, let's see what's going on here. Is this the kind of thing where, and I have a friend who happens to work for child support in New Jersey, and I've heard her talk about this before. And this has nothing to do with the cards, so I don't know what state you're in. But I heard somebody ask her once about payments that were delayed, and she said that it could have to do with holidays, and it also could get caught up in the like the state system, which could delay things. So I don't know if that's the same for your state, but let's see what's going on. I don't think that the employer cannot do it. I think that by law they have to do it. Baby, what's happening here, mama? Oh, you got victory. You're going to get that money. That money's coming. Yeah, and then look what else just showed up. Money card. It could have been mailed to the wrong employer, but I don't think, I'm not convinced that that's it. I'm wondering if it's caught up somewhere else. You're going to get the money though. I don't know if it's caught up in the state itself, like my friend was saying, or if it's, I don't think that it has to do with the employer not doing what they're supposed to do. I feel like the employer has made the payments. There's just been a delay in getting the payments to you. And you're going to get that money. You got the victory card. It's coming. It sucks that you have to wait, but the payment's coming. It's got to come. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, it should be showing up. But you know what? Delays and bullshit is what goes on now. Mercury has been in the shadow period for a couple of weeks. It's retrograde now. A lot of people, computers go down. That could be another thing that could cause it. If you're getting this check that's cut from the state, if the computers go down, and I just called somewhere the other day. I don't remember where it was, but their computers were down, and I was like, oh, I should have just guessed. You're getting the payment, so I wouldn't worry so much about it. I mean, it sucks it's delayed, but December. Does B try to look for me at work in his current feelings? Okay. Has he been looking for me at work? I get a 33% chance that he looks for you around work. It does show that he feels a little bit unbalanced. The Two of Pentacles is in reverse, and he may be feeling a little bit perseverance is in reverse. So it's like he's not putting in any effort. He's just kind of goes with the flow. I don't feel like he's out looking for you, but if you were to show up and you were around, I don't think he would ignore you. I think that he would, you know, have a conversation with you, but I don't think he's going out of his way to try to find you. I don't think he's going out of his way to try to find anybody either. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think it's like he's looking for somebody else. I just don't think he's putting much effort in right now. Shay, how would he respond to moving out of state? PhD. What's PhD mean? Like, what does it have to do with moving out of state? Would you be moving out of state to get your PhD? I just want to make sure that I answer that right. Okay, okay, so let me go back up. How would he respond to moving out of state? Would you be asking him to go with you or just you moving out of state? Just you, okay. He would argue with you over it. He wouldn't be happy about it. He would not be happy about it. There would be arguments, and he may be kind of like, well, then go ahead, go. He wouldn't be happy. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he would be, I don't think he would be happy about it at all. Crystal, does Christopher have true love? Does he have love now in his life? Like, is he with somebody now that he loves? Okay, can you just rephrase the question? Because I'm not sure what you're asking. And I don't want to ask it wrong. I'll come back to that one. TD, what's coming next for Aries and I? You may be laying down the law. You may be laying down the law and focusing on what you want from the relationship. Put out the wish into the universe, you're going to get it. And you may be letting him know that, look, this is what I want. Either step up or go fly a kite. I think that you're going to be a little stronger with him. I think that's a good thing. Crystal, why does everyone argue with me yesterday? Okay, let's see. Look, you got a lot of swords around you. That is, the swords cut both ways. Well, you know, I can't answer for everyone because everyone's got a different problem or everyone's got a different bug. But what it shows here is that somebody may have been feeling like there was a great injustice that was done to them or that karma was against them and they just took it out on you. Somebody else may feel that their whole life was out of balance and they took that out on you. Another person felt like they had choices and they couldn't make a decision and they were frustrated over that. And genuinely speaking, aside from what everybody else's problems, Mercury causes problems with communication. So of course people are going to be arguing. People don't know how to communicate to begin with. People have a hard time communicating and expressing how they feel in general. And then Mercury goes retrograde and it throws everybody off. People just don't know. A lot of times, and this is even worse, I think, people that don't know how to communicate or they don't know how to express themselves, so they don't even say anything. They just ignore it. And that's even worse. Melissa, how is Brian feeling towards me? Okay. Well, Brian right now may be feeling like he's not ready for things to move forward. The Eight of Wands is in reverse, which means he may not be up for a big change just yet in his life. So he just may not be ready for that. How he feels about you, he's very attracted to you. He cares a lot about you, and he feels very connected to you. You guys have a soulmate type of a bond, but he's not showing right now that he's capable or that he's ready for things to change. So this may take a minute to work itself out. All right, I gotta find that one from Crystal. Am I the right one for Christopher with love? So is Christopher in love with you? That's the question? All right, let's see. Okay. He shows that 33% chance he's in love with you. I think it's higher than that, but it shows a little bit of a level of frustration around him. The Hermit is here, which would indicate either he starts to pull back or he stops expressing how he feels. He may be quiet, and it may be because he feels like he's getting nowhere. He's also starting to get to the point where if things aren't going to move forward, he's going to walk away. So you may have to either have a discussion with him about it, see how he's, see what he says, because I feel like your time with him or your chance with him may be running out if you don't do something about it. He's starting to feel like you've had enough time, you haven't made a decision, he's not seeing you move forward, and he feels like he's starting to waste time. And he doesn't want to waste time. I think he wants to be with somebody. Like, I think that that's what he wants. Sweet thing. How did Kenneth feel about our Valentine's Day together? Overall, he felt good. This is feeling like he's won the battle even if he hasn't won the war. Feeling spontaneous, carefree, feeling lighthearted. The Empress, be careful if you don't want kids, but otherwise it doesn't get better than that. Love, money, abundance, fertility, commitment. The Empress is like a very good card to get. He had a good time Valentine's Day. Miriam, what might my future husband find attractive about me? Okay. Definitely will be attracted to you physically. That's no doubt. But he's going to be attracted to the fact that you're very well grounded and that you can hold your own. Love of independence. He's going to think that it's really amazing that you're independent. He's going to like your creative side. And he's going to think that you're loving and caring, but yet also independent and that you can stand on your own. There's going to be a lot of passion around this situation. It's going to be a passionate relationship. Crystal, when will my finances be better? Five of Clubs, I would say sometime this May. From May in through the summer, you should see a big shift in your financial situation. Georgia, will RS compromise or will he want things his way? Is RS willing to compromise? Is RS willing to compromise? he's going to be willing to compromise. I don't think he wants to lose you. Abel, how is Abel feeling about us? Is he walking away? He's not walking away. He may pull back. He may be feeling a little bit hurt, and he may feel like there's a delay around happiness, but he's not walking away from this. He may pull back for a minute, kind of assess the situation, give himself, I would say give him a minute, but I don't think he wants to let go of this right now. Sweet thing. What is Kenneth's action towards me soon? Okay. I think he's going to be looking to spend more time with you, and I think that's going to make you really happy. I think there's happiness around the situation. I think you're going to be spending more time together. I don't know exactly what you're going to be doing together, but it looks like spending more time together and maybe even a little bit more communication. But sometimes less communication, but spending more time physically together. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be texting him if you're with him. That kind of thing. So it shows more of spending time together than it does communication at this point. Ashmita, when will I see my manifestation come to pass? This spring. It could be in 8 weeks from now. 8 of Hearts would be 8 days, 8 weeks. The springtime would be the Hearts. PJ, could I know who the person is making rumors about me behind my back? I'm in college and I'm an Aquarius. Yeah, I think you do know this person. Let's see. You do know this person, and you want to know something? It's going to backfire on them with the Fool in reverse. If something is going to happen, they're going to get caught, and it's going to backfire on them. I want to say this person's a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries. It's going to backfire on them, and they're going to feel like really embarrassed and horrified. Good. Good. Shay, would he plan to go with me at some point? Would he plan to go with me at some point? Yeah, he could. He could. Yeah, that's a definite possibility. But I don't think that he wants you to go along. Sweet thing, do you see my son's disability granted soon? Okay, well, son be getting disability soon. I'm only getting a 33% chance it's going to happen soon. He may have to fight a little bit. It might be a little bit of a fight before he gets it. I think he's going to get it, but I think it may, you know, there may be a little turmoil around it right now. Vet. I'm not skipping you, Vet. It's just I don't see your question yet, so I'm going to do Rhonda. Why is my Leo involved? What is my Leo involved in that I should know about? And why is he not with me? Okay, let's see. Vet, I just don't see your question yet. Well, he's got a couple of things going on around him. So it does show that he shows up around you out of the blue coming up, and that you get your wish after you set some boundaries. But there's a secret around him that he may not want you to know, and it has to do with heartbreak. I don't know if he's involved with somebody else, and he doesn't want you to know about it. But it may have already ended with the Three of Swords, and karma's on your side. So he may not be with you because he was with somebody else, doesn't want you to know about it, or there was somebody else around the picture at some point, and he doesn't want you to know about that person. That's what's gone on. Three of Cups in reverse is a third party, and he does not want you to know about it. And that would also be the secret with the Moon in reverse. Vet. I'm looking for Vet. Anybody see Vet's question? And I'm going to do a Stephanie. How did I feel after he saw and spoke to me? Okay. How did T feel? Okay, so he felt a couple of things. He felt attracted to you. He felt well balanced. He felt like it went well. He also may be feeling like he's coming in with an offering of love. And I hate when I say that because it seems like someone's coming in on a white horse with flowers. That's not happening. But he may start reaching out to you, calling you more often, or, looking to hang out. But I think he comes off a little bit more nonchalant than in your face about it. Overall, I think he felt good about seeing you, and I do think that he's going to come forward a little bit more. Moon Lover. May I know more about my spiritual gifts? Okay. Moon Lover. Okay, you have a strong sense of intuition, so cultivate that, work with it. It also shows here you got somewhat empathy too. I think that you can be somewhat empathic and feel other people's pain. You may notice that with that, pain and negative emotions you pick up sooner than you pick up happiness. That's okay. The more you cultivate it, the more the other stuff is going to come in. I would work with your intuition, cultivating your intuition, and how you feel when you're around certain people, because I think you pick that up. For example, if you're stand by somebody and you don't like the way it feels and you move away from them, take notice of that. And I learned that I learned a lot teaching yoga. I noticed that like energetically, I kind of gravitate towards people in the room that I like their energy or I like the way they feel. And I kind of find that I kind of drift away from people if they've been in a negative mood, or if they were mean to somebody, or you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of notice that just intuitively I move away from them. So start to take notice things like that. Because, you may not realize it, but especially if you're an empath or you have empathic tendencies, you pick up other people's energy and it can affect you. It's like if you've ever had a friend, like I had a friend who was so negative that I had to cut him out of my life, because all he ever did was bring me down. No matter how hard I tried to pull him up, he was just like cement shoes. There was just no getting around it. and it was unhealthy for me. See, I think some people can have a healthier way of drawing a line and not having it affect them, but I couldn't. Every time I was with him, I wound up getting depressed. Ah. Crystal, am I wasting my time in my current relationship? Well, it does seem like the relationship is rather stagnant, but I can't tell you if you're wasting your time. It's all about how you feel. Do you love this person? Do you want to be with them? Then no, it's not a waste of time. If you feel like it's going nowhere and that it's boring and there's no passion and that there's really no relationship, then yeah, you are. And it does, the card suggests that the relationship is rather stagnant at this point. So you may want to think about how you feel about this guy. Georgia, when will things change for the better for RS and I? Okay. Seven weeks or the end of the winter. So do we have 7 weeks left in the winter? I'm going to say around the end of the winter, beginning of spring, things get better for you guys. Oh, what did I miss? Super chat. Oh, vet. Right. I haven't seen the question yet. Okay. I'm looking for vet. Here we go. Why does my kid's father want me to contact him? All right, let's see. Well, he may be feeling a little imbalanced and off in his own life, but around his relationship with you, he may want things to move forward. You may no longer be feeling like you're waiting for the ship to come in, and there may be a substantial amount of money here that he wants to talk about. The Ten of Pentacles would be a large sum of money. I don't know if he owes you money, if he's giving you money, if he's responsible for some kind of a payment that he's got to make. I think that he wants to talk to you about money and about your relationship or your circumstances. It could be circumstances if you guys don't normally talk. Crystal, will I be with Christopher in a relationship for his birthday? Okay, let's see. I'm only getting a 33% chance. I mean, there is room here for things to transform, but by his birthday, I'm only getting a 33% chance. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. Via general reading, okay. Hey, Mama, you're letting us know you're here? We know you're here. You sleeping? And you just cried like that out in your sleep? Got a wish around you. You may have to take a leap of faith. but it propels your life forward quickly. Not without arguments and maybe a little bit of a minor heartbreak, but it looks like your life is moving forward. You have a lot of strength around you. You've got karma on your side. If there's something you want to do, step out of your box. You're going to be successful at it. Like if you've been toying around with an idea in your head, go for it. Sweet thing. What is the Libra's intention? Because I don't trust. If you don't trust this person, then go with your gut. Libras usually aren't, you know, like deceitful. They're usually kind of like people pleasers. But if you don't trust something, I would go with that. I mean, they do come off as stable. Like they got stability around them. They have money around them too. Here's the Libra. Eight of Wands is in reverse. They may be feeling like their life is stuck and they're undecided on how to move forward. They may be looking for an opportunity or trying to manipulate things to get themselves out of this stuck position. They feel very stuck in their own life and they don't know how to get out of it. If you don't trust them, go with that. I don't trust it either because your gut is pretty strong. But I'm going to ask that question. Is this Libra untrustworthy? %70 chance. Go with your gut. I don't trust it. Not with 70%. That's too high. 30%, I would say okay. They're okay. But 70% is too high. Susie, what do I do with my situation with Steve? Well, it shows here that you're definitely feeling stabbed in the back or hurt and maybe a little bit disconnected spiritually. Here's the thing. If you want this relationship to move forward, I wouldn't push him. I wouldn't tell him off. I would back away from it. If you feel like you're done with him and you don't want to deal with him anymore and you're over this, then I would express how you feel. But my thoughts are is that if you come off too strong and you come off, you know, like laying down the law with him, it may make him run faster and farther. Because it shows here that he's feeling a little bit unbalanced. He's feeling a little bit unsure. He doesn't know what to do. And I'm afraid you could push him over the edge. So if you want more to come, my suggestion would be to leave him alone. I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't text him. I would just take time away from it. If you are truly done with it, and that's only a question that you can answer yourself, then I would say, tell him how you feel, let the chips fall where they may. Because I don't think lecturing him or, you know, is going to help. Not right now. I don't think it's going to work. So I would say just kind of let him be, and then let's see what happens. Then you can give it some time. Give it a week or two and see how you feel then. But I wouldn't reach out. I wouldn't call him, and I wouldn't answer him. Not right away if he texts you. I would make him wait. Make him sweat a little bit. Because right now, he's under the impression that you are literally sitting around and waiting for him, and he can do whatever he wants. And the more you reach out to him, the more it assures him of that. He needs to be a little scared. He needs to think he's going to lose you. And he doesn't think that right now. Sweet thing. Kenneth gave me a ring for Valentine's Day. What's the reason? He cares a lot about you. He wanted to impress you, and he wants the relationship to move forward. He's also feeling great happiness around the two of you. I think his intentions are good, like what he's got in his head. I'm not so sure that he can fulfill it right now. So I would take it with a grain of salt. I would just be careful with him. Like, it's almost like one of those people, like he's promising you something or he wants to do more, but I'm not so sure that he's capable of it right now. Okay, I'm going back up to the non-super chat people. Pixie, what is the Aries guy's next move? We broke up more than a week ago. Okay. Next move. His phone is off. I don't care if the phone is off. That might not be a big deal. It seems like a big deal, but it's not. He'll either get another phone or he'll have it turned back on or something like that. What's his next move? There's contact coming in. Here's the Aries right here. There's contact coming in. It may not be right away. It could be for a couple of weeks. The phone thing could legitimately be an issue for a couple of weeks, but it's not going to be something that's going to make or break this relationship. Not at all. And it does show that you should be using your intuition when dealing with him, and the relationship moves forward quickly. Oh, I just want to say this before I forget. I have, over the last month or so, got emails from 3 people that want to be moderators. And I will definitely make all 3 of you moderators, but just not yet because I don't have that many people in the chat room. And I already have 5 moderators. So as my channel grows, in the order that I receive them, I'll make you guys moderators. I haven't forgotten. I've got 3 of them. Just not yet, because like right now I have 18 people in the chat room. For 7 or 8 people to be moderators, I just don't need that many. But as the channel grows, I will be making more moderators, definitely. And all 3 of you will become moderators. Are you blowing bubbles over there? I'm going to put that too in the community board because I don't know if you're all in the room. Georgia, is RS a soulmate relationship? I believe it is, yes. Yeah, 70% chance, yes. Plus the high priestess, yeah. It's definitely a soulmate relationship. Capricorn girl, will I hear from N tomorrow? You have a 70% chance you're going to hear from him tomorrow. I'm not going to say tomorrow, definitely. I would say over the next couple of days or before the end of the week. Georgia, what did RS think about the text message I sent today? I don't know what you said, but I think it kind of, I don't think it sat too well with him because judgment is in reverse, which means he either felt judged, knocked off of his pedestal, taken back by it. It's not sitting right with him. I don't think he cared for that message. I don't know what you said, but that's what the cards are suggesting. April, what does JP think of me? We work together. Okay. What is JP thinking? He's a little undecided about how he feels about you. On one hand, he feels like you guys have a good connection and he feels happiness. On the other hand, he feels like maybe you could betray him with the 7 of Swords, or that he may be feeling like he's waiting for his ship to come in, like maybe you guys haven't really totally clicked yet. He's on both sides of the fence with how he feels right now. However, you've got karma on your side. So if you care about which way this connection goes, you can put in a little bit more effort, and I think you're going to see a payoff. Crystal, why do the cards say this is going to happen, but then when I do another reading, it says something different? Does that mean people change energy or free will? Well, there could be a number of things going on. First of all, there is free will. There's always free will. But if, for example, there's no time, right, when it comes to the spirit world. So if you were, like, let's just say, for example, right now we asked 5 times, am I going to see him tomorrow? And we got 5 different answers. Yes, maybe, probably, who knows? You know, it's like locking it into tomorrow is kind of crazy. To predict something that's going to happen at like, am I going to see him at 12:05 tomorrow? No, probably not. Like it's too precise. But if you're dealing with the spirit world and you're asking the same question over time, time is an issue. That's the problem that we have. And almost everybody that I've ever spoken to spirit-wise says, like spiritual teachers, psychics that I've studied with, I say the same thing. Time is the issue. So here's an example. And I use this example all the time. I work with a woman who was married for 10 years. She was married for 10 years. They got divorced, and her husband married his ex-girlfriend, who had also been married and had a family while he was married. So let's just say, for example, the ex-girlfriend, right? She breaks up with Mark. She goes to a tarot reader and says, am I going to marry Mark? Tarot reader says yes. Well, 10 years goes by. He marries someone else. She marries someone else, has a family. Well, for 10 years, it doesn't look like she's going to marry Mark, right? But then life happens. They get divorced. They find their way back to each other. They get married. So in those 10 years, if she had gone once a month or once a year for a tarot reading, it could come up different. It could come up with, no, you're not going to marry him. You're already married. It could come up with, no, you're not going to marry him. He's already married. But at some point, things can change. So there's free will. There's that. There's so many factors that can change it. But I think that the end of the line, really, to me, is if someone sees it and it's positive, it's going to happen. So in other words, if a tarot reader would have said to her, yes, you're going to marry him, but I don't know when, I would have believed that, because it's still keeping the possibility on the table, even though we don't know when the end of the story is, right? Like when someone says to me, will I ever hear from him again? Well, at what point will we say you're never going to hear from him? So if you don't hear from him from March 1st, is that you never heard from him again? What if you don't hear from him by January 2027? Never hear from him again? You're not dead yet. You know, like there's still chances. So if somebody were to see something, or the cards were to answer positively at some point, I would go with that as the final answer over the negative, because there's always a possibility as long as we're still here. The only time you wouldn't have a possibility is if you were no longer in the physical realm and you left this realm. Then there wouldn't be a possibility. And then there's also, the woman that reads my cards used to say to me, I can't react to every burp. That's what she used to say to me. If your relationship is having a burp and you hit a pothole, okay, so you had a fight. So he told you to, go scratch. So you're not talking today. It doesn't mean this isn't going to change at some point. So that's what she used to say to me. So just because you had this happen now doesn't mean this is the end of it. Even though it may seem like, and I've gone in like hysterical, crying, like a mess, like, oh my God, he said he never wants to talk to me again. And she would be like, listen, this is what he's saying today. Next Tuesday, it could be a different story. And at the moment, you don't believe it. But then when it happens, you're like, okay, so I overreacted. You know what I mean? Like when somebody answers in a negative and then you put forever, how could you say that it's never going to happen forever when there are possibilities? Like, am I ever going to see him again? Like you live in the same town. Chances are you're going to see him again. You know what I mean? And not even, if we weren't even dealing with the cards. So my answer to that is, if somebody is seeing it positive, at some point it should happen. Whereas I would pay more attention to that than the negative, because sometimes you don't see things coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't answer to every single issue. You know, if you have a fight today, I'm never going to hear from him again. No, you're going to hear from him again. You know what I mean? So if it's positive, I would go with that. Queen. What will be the outcome of Catherine if Catherine is pregnant? Okay. Okay, see, this is another tough one, because if there are children around Catherine, it can show that there are kids around her. It doesn't mean that this is going to be the kid. Let's see, what's going to be the outcome of this pregnancy if Catherine is pregnant right now? Is there a child that will be born within the next 10 months? Okay, so I'm only getting a 33% chance that there's a baby that's coming that soon. It does show worry around her. So since I'm not reading for her, is she worried that everything is okay? Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe she physically has an issue that she's concerned about surrounding this baby. Or this could be that it's not a viable pregnancy and she's worried about that. You know, it could be something that just doesn't take root. There's something wrong and it spontaneously ends. It also shows that she's holding herself back, so that could be an issue. So it could be, there's a number of things, but the cards are not suggesting that this baby is coming within the next 10 months. Are there children around her? I think there are children around her. Now, like, how many? I mean, there could be children. Like, sometimes women get pregnant, they don't even know they're pregnant, they lose it. Then there's someone like me that I listened for probably about 15 years. Be careful you don't get pregnant, be careful you don't get pregnant. And I literally thought this woman was crazy. And I was like, I will never get pregnant because I'm not careless. I don't pull stunts. I'm not going to manipulate anyone. And then bam, what do you know, it happened. And I thought that there was no way that it would ever happen to me. And then at this stage of the game, I didn't even think that it was possible. I didn't think that I could have children. So sometimes, you know, life is just, when they say there is no, there are no rules and there's nothing that you can go by, statistics and everything else. While I was pregnant, I was watching, oh shit, I don't remember the girl's name. They were a young couple, very young, early 20s, I think. The Morans, I think they are, the Morans. They already were married and had 2 daughters. Third child, she finds out that this baby has, I think it's trisomy 13, and that basically it's terminal. The baby is not going to survive. But they decided to keep the pregnancy and let the child be born. And it was like heart-wrenching to watch. So heart-wrenching. And then when the baby was born, watching that video and the story after, I give these people a whole lot of credit. I mean, it was awful. I mean, so sad. But a young couple in their 20s, and that happened to them. So, you know, sometimes the statistics can be stacked against you and you wind up getting what you want. The statistics can be in your favor and you don't get what you want, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's life. And, you know, it sucks sometimes. Sucks a lot of the times. Cool mom. How does Brian feel about me now? Okay. Sorry I went off there on a tangent. But if you get a chance and you wanted to follow their story, I think it was the Moran family. I think it's the name of their channel. And I think he's in the army. It's heartbreaking, though. Be prepared to cry a lot. How does Brian feel? Okay, he's a little bit back and forth, too. He feels a love connection to you and stability, and he feels like he's being rewarded or appreciated. But then on the other hand, he feels a little anxiety around this situation and maybe a little bit underappreciated or a little bit overlooked. So he's a little bit back and forth or uncertain in his own feelings. That's okay. I think overall he feels good about the situation. There's more positive than there is negative here. April, general love. Okay. Woohoo! Happiness. Happiness, all 10 cups are full. You could have an adventurous water sign around you, possibly a Pisces, if not Scorpio, Cancer, that is pursuing you, that they may be pursuing you so hard that they stress you out. Take a leap of faith. I think that they're going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to be legit. They may be wanting to work real hard on a steady and stable relationship with you coming up in the near future. April, what does James think of me at work? What is James thinking? He thinks that you're balanced, compassionate, serene, and successful. He may feel, though, that you might be a little bit unstable at points. But for the most part, he feels that you're calm, cool, collected, loving, and successful. Seba, what's T's current energies towards me right now? Seba. His energy right now towards you is passionate and also carefree. Passionate and carefree. Fun-loving. Spontaneous. Abel. Why is Abel heartbroken or hurt? This may have something to do with something that happened to him in his past that he's reliving, that either somebody brought it up or he's reliving an old wound. He's got the star card around him, which means he pulls through, he gets his wish, his life moves forward. He's not going to stay feeling heartbroken or hurt for very long, but he is reliving an old wound. Capricorn, who's coming towards me in love? Who's coming towards me in love? You have a Virgo coming in who may be a little bit undecided when they first show up. You also have a water sign. Use your intuition. Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer. I think spiritually you may feel like you have a nice connection to the water sign. The Virgo may not be your type. They kind of come in a little wishy-washy. Yes, Zara, you can close the super chats. And let me see, what time is it now? I think it's almost 6:30. It's almost 6:30. So let's say I will come back on tonight at, how about 9? I'll come back on tonight at 9. Between 9 and 9:30. Just give me some time there in case I got to feed her or take him out or somebody else needs something. J Mac, what will be the outcome with me and Caitlin? The relationship comes back into balance. I think you guys work it out. There's justice around you. So I think that ultimately you get another chance, or you get a chance if you were never together. I'm not really sure where your relationship was, but I think that karma is on your side and you'll be able to get what you want out of this. Oh, Gracie, that's okay. I'll do it. Sepia, is Michael confiding in anyone and about what? Okay, let's see. I don't think he's really talking too much to anyone right now. Not about anything that's important feelings-wise. Gracie, love in general. Okay, yeah, the signs that show up, sure. You got a water sign around you. The water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, and they may be not working as hard as they were in this relationship. It's a moment in time. It's going to pass. Don't get upset about it. You also have a fire sign here who may be coming in nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race. With the fire sign who is feeling more stable, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. You're no longer going to be feeling like you're waiting for your ship to come in. You're going to start to feel like you have a lot of choices around you. You also have justice on your side. Heartbreak and feeling wounded and this kind of bullshit moves into the past. As you move forward, there's more love entering your life, and you're gonna have some choices between the fire signs, the water signs, but overall, I think that you're gonna feel like you're a little bit in more control of your destiny and not waiting around for other people. I think that you're gonna have more or less be the one making the choices. Okay, moderators, let me do yours. And I'm going to go back up to the top and see if I can pull up a couple of people while I wait. Tori, what would a romantic relationship with Joshua be like? It would be pretty stable. It could lead to the happy home. There could be a future, and it could be a soulmate connection. It looks like it takes a little bit of work, but I think that you could have a decent relationship with him. I'm looking for the moderators. All right, let me do this one for Darlene. Kevin's current feelings. Like a wish, choices, and the happy home. So he may be feeling like he's got decisions to make. He may be feeling like he's putting a wish out into the universe. He may think that there's a future between you and him. He may be deciding on what he wants to do about it or how he's going to move the relationship forward. But it looks like he's thinking about the future. Sorry, does the Taurus think of me and what are his next moves? He does think about you. I mean, ultimately, you're going to hear from him. His next move is somehow he's going to reach out to you, or he's going to call you, or somehow he's going to get in touch with you. But I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think it may take a little while. You may have a little bit of time ahead of you. Phantom, will I ever receive justice in my situation? I'm a Gemini, okay. Is justice around the Gemini? Absolutely. You're going to get justice. Jumana, does my Scorpio check up on my social media? Well, the way I answer yes and no questions, it depends on the aces that you get. So there really aren't any cards for me to show you because I don't do the reading like that when it comes to a yes and no question. It's either you get the aces or you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got two aces, which means yes, he does check up on the social media, but the other card is Five of Wands, which would be arguing or bickering or not liking what he's seeing or something, arguments around the social media thing, which is, that's why I hate social media. I think that social media is it really destroys relationships. Um, General career for Mel. Okay, so you might have a new business opportunity moving forward slowly. This card would indicate a slowly moving forward with a lot of passion and happiness. A new business opportunity. You're going to lay down the law. So I don't know if you're going to take in a business partner, which I'm not a big fan of business partners. But if you absolutely needed to, I think that you would set the, you would lay down the law. And then it shows that the relationship or the business, depending on which way it goes. If you do take in a business partner, that relationship would be built on solid ground. If you don't, your foundation of your business gets built on solid ground, and the business takes off and moves forward quickly. And it could lead you to the happy home, buying a new home, redoing your home, something of that nature, buying a second home, and then a substantial amount of money should come in. I think you're going to start your own business or expand the business. But I think that you would be better off doing it on your own, unless it's the kind of thing where you have to rent a space and you need somebody else to like help you financially to get started. Martha, what's going on with the Gemini? Are there any other moderators here, or it was just Mel and Zara? I think it was just Mel and Zara. I don't have any money to open up a business. No, that's okay, Martha. I'm going to do it. That's all right. What's going on with the Gemini? Okay, he's on both sides of the sword. So he's like typical Gemini right now. Doesn't know what to do. Feels one way one minute, feels the opposite way the next minute. If you haven't seen or spoken to him, you will be hearing from him. He comes in out of the blue. He's feeling a little bit out of balance or a little bit underappreciated in his own life, but he's pushing on. He perseveres. He's going to take a spin of the Wheel of Fortune, and his life is going to move forward. I think that when it comes to you and him, your relationship moves forward slow and steady. Use your intuition when you deal with him, because you can kind of tune into his intuition. You're pretty good at that with him. All right, guys, I'm going to go now. I got things to do around this house, and I will be back on tonight between 9 and 9:30. I will see you guys then. Thanks. Bye-bye.